Hey everybody, I'm back, and this is a special show right now. Elliot from Bear Pit TV, that is the Stokes fan channel for all of you who are interested. I know there's some Orlando City Stoke fans out there, so the Bear Pit TV. He's joining us today. We're just gonna talk about the club's affiliation, talk about the trialist. Jonathan Tixeria, I think he'll probably correct my pronunciation because mine is pretty bad. I'm not known for great pronunciations. And then whatever else comes along, this is just kind of a BSing about whatever. I'll probably keep it pretty short. So say hello to everybody and tell everybody, the Orlando Stoke fans, how they can find you.
Yeah, hello all the Orlando Stoke fans. Our renewed partnership. You can find us at www.thebearpittv.com or on our YouTube channel, which is the Bear Pit TV. And we've been going for a season now, covering Stoke home and away, fan cams before and after games, regular videos. And if you want to catch any more Stoke City content, that's where you need to head.
All right. So, I hope because there's a bunch of Stoke fans here. It's pretty impressive. I wasn't so sure. I'm not personally a Stoke fan, but when I saw that they got stuff going on Twitter, and I'm like, all right, there's a Stoke following in Orlando, so we'll get. So I'm glad. Anyway, so from your perspective, does the official affiliation mean anything to you guys, to your fan base, or is it just like, oh, all right, the front office is doing that, it's cool?
No, it's definitely a sort of perk to doing it. I'd love to be there. Maybe I will for the game pre-season when we come across to play you guys. It's always great to go, America or somewhere with to sort of spread the word of the club, get a bigger world audience. And also, if you've ever got any top talent or any youngsters coming through, I'm sure we'll take a look at them or try and steal them away from you. But no, like I say, and it's also a great chance for some of maybe our youngsters. Tixeria himself is going across, of course. But, it's a much better breeding ground for our youngsters to come and play and maybe ply the trade, help you guys out, and also play competitively, because some of the under 21 games, etc., that they play here aren't the greatest of games. Whereas the MLS is an up and coming league, I feel.
And like in comparison, to the championship and to League One and to so on down the English chain, where do you think MLS stands? Because obviously, I mean, it's obvious it's not to the level of Premier League. Anybody knows that. But after that, where do you think the MLS would slot in? Oh, hello. All right.
Can you just repeat that again, mate?
Yeah.
Because it just went a little funny.
Yeah. No worries. So talent wise, where do you think MLS slots in under Premier League in the English chain of command? So do you think it's equal to the championship, a little less than the championship?
That's a difficult one. I'd have to say less than championship, because over here the championship is probably considered more competitive than Premier League at times. It's such a hard league to get out of. You get all the teams that drop out of the Premier League with big spending budgets to get the parachute payments. And, it's so difficult to get out of that league once you're in it. Teams dread dropping into the championship because of how tough it is. But I wouldn't say the MLS is far off the championship at all.
Okay.
Some of the players coming across that league now, you're getting all our legends. Like, you're getting all the players who just play with slippers on, cigars in the mouth because they're that good. Honestly, I'd love to. Most nights, if there's a game on, because it showed, obviously later here. But Sky Sports do pick up the MLS games now and give them decent coverage. And I will sit there and watch, you guys with Kaká, or the Lampard and the Pirlo at the New York City, and David Villa. And, watching those guys is quite entertaining in that league.
And what about you personally? Do you have an MLS team?
Do you know what I do? I do, actually. I like the LA Galaxy, but just only because of the Beckham factor, because he was the first one to go out there and do it. And did when he first went across again, they showed a lot of his games across here just because it was David Beckham. So that's the only team I'd probably say I've got the affinity to. But Beckham isn't even there anymore. But I've got Steven Gerrard, and I'm a big Gerrard fan as well. So okay. That's probably the only reason. But yeah, LA Galaxy are the ones I'd go for. But I'm not even sure if they're that good at the minute.
They're all right. They're doing the thing. The West is competitive right now, so they're all bundled up. But anyway, but back on topic. I know we're just kind of goofing around. So yeah, so you guys might want to try and look at Kyle Larin from us. Kyle Larin's our striker.
Right. Okay.
Canadian international. He's very very good. We often get goal dependent on Kyle Larin, so he's one. We have a central defensive mid named Christian Higuita, who has been rumored around Milan, and we got him from somewhere in Colombia, and he was gonna go to Milan, but they were gonna put him in the youth, and he came here to play professionally instead. So, but he's very injury prone.
Okay.
We have a young U.S. center back who I think has a lot of upside, but still makes lots of youthful mistakes in Tommy Redding. I mean, you guys already gave us Breck. You already sold Breck Shea back to us, so you probably don't want him.
Keep Breck. We're all right. We're all right. We're all right.
So and Tixeria was here. He might still be here on trial. That news came out last week. I looked on YouTube for highlight videos of him for anywhere. I looked for a scouting report. I could find nothing. So, is there anything you could enlighten us about him since he's from your club?
Yeah, it's a really strange one. I mean, you won't find many highlights of him with us. If you do want to find any highlights or a particular sort of game where he didn't play too badly, he played pretty well, is when we beat Bournemouth away from home 3-1 this season. He had to come on quite early in the game, and he did have a quite good defensive display. Like I said before, he hasn't had many chances with us. The first season he was here, he got injured. He broke a bone in his foot.
Oh,
season just gone. He only made two appearances, one in the Premier League, and he made one in one of the cups. But again, it's a really difficult one because we haven't seen that much of him. But when the small bits that we've seen, he hasn't played too badly, and we were expecting him to be awful, and he hasn't played too badly. There's quite a thing around our fan base as well as having him as like a false god. People Photoshop pictures of his head onto the Christ the Redeemer and all sorts. So he's got quite a sort of cult following. Strangely
why?
It's just strange. We wanted him to play more. We wanted him to, to see what he could do. But Mark Hughes didn't seem too keen on him. When we even had tons of defensive injuries, instead of throwing him in, he'd drop a midfielder into defence. So, we didn't see much of him this season. And Mark Hughes is a better judge of a player than I am. So that's all I can give you on him.
All right. Well, I think that's better than what everybody here has. So
yeah,
that's much appreciated. And so do you think he where like on a player-to-player comparison, I know you haven't seen him that much, but like what kind of player would you compare him to, so to speak? Like, I don't know if that's a fair question based on what you've seen, but
from what we've seen, it's quite difficult. But Mark Hughes, when he first took him on and first signed him from the Slovakian league, as he said, he could see a lot of comparisons with Ryan Nelson and Christopher Samba, who were both former Blackburn centre-backs where Mark Hughes used to manage. Mark Hughes actually tried to get him for Blackburn a couple of years before, but couldn't because of work permits, and managed to get him for us. So if there's anyone, I'd probably say those two, who were both big, strong defenders. Keep it simple. None of the playing it out from the back and all that. Literally get rid. And I can imagine he's at those same lines.
Okay. Well, that's, thank you for the pseudo scouting report on Tixeria. I appreciate that. Yeah. So, and just from my point of view, as far as the club affiliation goes, I'm cool with it. I mean, you guys have been pretty decent this season. The last couple of seasons, you haven't been too close to relegation. So any kind of youth that's not going to make your U21s that need some game time, I would love to see whoever you guys want to send over maybe on loan or maybe even short-term loans, because the middle of our season is your off season. So,
yeah, exactly.
If someone comes and finds form, they can just come right into training for the first team and maybe make an impact there. So I don't know. I'm just like you. I'm just a fan who does FanTV. Obviously your channel's much bigger than mine, but other than that, I don't have any insider information. I wish I could tell you more,
No, definitely. I mean, if the players that you should be looking at, if they don't get a shot at the first team, because there's a lot of us out there that feel that they should now. But say coming into the season, players like Joel Taylor, who's a left back, and also Dominic Talford, who's a striker. Joel Taylor won a Young Player of the Season. But both of these, and Dominic Talford's been in an amazing scoring form. He actually played in Andy Wilkinson's testimonial last Monday, a week ago. and he scored an absolute screamer of a goal. And he's been doing that all season for the under-21s. So if I was an Orlando manager, coach, scout, I'd be looking at those two guys. If they don't start breaking out into our first team soon, then if they can get some starts in the MLS, that's much better than sending them down to a League Two, League One side. And they're players I'd definitely take a look at.
Okay, and this is more of just a generalized question about the Premier League, and I could probably just Google it, but since I have you here, how come players who are over 21 can play on an under 21 game?
It's more about getting them back fit from injury. You're allowed 3 in every under 21s game. You're allowed 3. You're allowed 3 over 21 players. So it's just a form of getting them back fit, getting them back match ready, which is why you'll often see big names dropping into under 21s games now and then.
Yeah. That's why I asked, because I like Arsenal, so we see whoever's going down. Whoever's getting whichever one of our many injuries that we're dealing with all get U21 starts, and it's like that guy's 27, like he can play U21. But anyway, so I don't have any other questions for you. You got any questions that there might be a casual MLS fan who's looking to be an Orlando fan because of this affiliation? Do you think that's even a possibility, just based on your fan base?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there'll be a lot of guys who will go out there for pre-season, etc., soak up the atmosphere in Orlando. Orlando is Florida. I'm right. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there once when I was little. I went to Disneyland, so I did all that when I was younger. So there'll definitely be a lot of Stokies coming across for the pre-season game. And I'm sure a lot of them will be buying Orlando tops, and you'll start to be making a lot of fans from the pottery, so to say. But yeah, there's definitely a scope for some of our guys to start supporting Orlando as MLS team. I might even switch. I might even throw away this LA Galaxy connection that I've got. And especially if Tixeria starts playing games, if he starts starting games for you guys, and I'll tell you what, our cult following for Tixeria will be all over that, honestly.
It's not the move hasn't been announced or official, but he was just here training last week. They called him a trialist, and they've done this a couple times before, and some of the players have stayed, and other players have gotten onto the team. So I don't know, but we only have 3 center halves, and one of them is probably hurt right now because he got pulled last game as actually Seb Hines. You know Seb Hines?
Yeah, I've heard the name. Yeah.
Yeah, he played in the championship for a while. He is from, I don't know where he's from exactly, but his knee was a little nicked up, so they pulled him early in the first half at like 35 last week. So we need another center half, even if it's just for depth. But if this guy's making Stoke appearances and playing good, I'd very to say he'd start on our team.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think that I could see him making that move, definitely, even though if it's not been announced yet. But I could see him making it because at the moment we're currently in for another couple of defenders, especially this season. We had so many injuries. Ryan Shawcross, our main centre-back and captain, has got sort of back problems that just seem to keep happening again and again. We also lost Robert Hoof to Leicester. Went on and won the league, which is a bit of a gutter. But yeah, so we need some defensive cover at the minute. So if we do get the couple in, I could see us letting Tixeria go out for a bit.
So maybe that has something to do with it.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Well, if you don't have any Orlando City questions for me or any MLS questions for me, I think we'll wrap this up.
What's the Orlando nickname for the team?
We are the Lions.
The Lions. Right, okay.
Yeah, Orlando City Lions, but like our thing is like OCSC, so like Orlando City Soccer Club. So they make a joke about it. You can see right here over my thing, and they made these scarves for April Fools here, and they call it the Sea Cows. So OCSC, Orlando City Sea Cows, like a manatee. So that's just a joke that the supporters have, and then the team caught wind of it, and there's like a Sea Cows jersey in the front office, but yeah, we're the Lions or OCSC or I guess they sometimes say City, but we try to stay away from just City.
Okay, no, that sounds good. I like that April Fool. That's a good April Fool.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Anyway, so
definitely.
All right, well, I appreciate your time. You want to just let everybody know how they can where you're, I guess, just you're most active at one last time, just in case.
Yeah, definitely. So on Twitter, it's @TheBearPitTV. YouTube, again, YouTube/TheBearPitTV, and we've got our own website, www.thebearpittv.com. You can find a load of Stoke City content on there, weekly fan cams. I'm also going to be going to the Euros in France to support England.
Sick.
So there's going to be some content on there about that too. Thank you for having me on the channel. Probably make some other appearances now and then if Tixeria comes across and with the partnership, etc. And if I could come across for the preseason game, and I'll come and meet you, and I'll come and meet all you guys.
Yeah, if you make it across, let me know. I'll be happy to show you around Orlando generally, just as a local tour guide, just for fun, just because I enjoy meeting new people and showing them around. Because you say you were here as a kid and that you were here for Disney.
It's not the same. Yeah, it's not the same. I
There's
just want
so
to
much.
drink beers there this time.
Yeah. Well, there's yeah, we could definitely do that for sure.
Thanks
all right,
very
man.
much for having me on.
Yep. And it was nice to meet you. So that's all for our time, guys. Thank you for your time. Peace out.